up? Cinema Shogun here, and I have some good news. That is something that you do not hear from me often, but I was literally sitting down to film a update video about this missing 9-year-old girl named Charlotte Sena. She went missing as she was camping with her family at Moreau Lake State Park. Well, as I was sitting down to film this update, something told me, hey, just check your phone one last time. Just check for some updates really quick one last time, even though I had been sitting here looking for updates all day, and bam, the news came across that Charlotte has been found. Not only has she been found, she was found alive, she's safe, and a suspect is in custody. From what I'm hearing, police had their guns drawn. They zoned in or zeroed in on an area. There's not a lot of information out there yet. There's rumors, of course, but there's nothing verified right now at the time of this recording. By the time you're watching this video, things will change. This is breaking news. But they have someone in custody. Now, I got the sense that law enforcement knew something because right away they treated this like an abduction. And they seemed just a tad bit more closed off to accepting help from the public. It seemed like something that they wanted to do themselves, which made me believe that they maybe, they were on someone's trail. They were on the trail of where she could have gone. Now, there's been rumors out there since she went missing that her abduction or whatever it was caught on camera. We still don't know if that's true or not either. But right now, all I can tell you for a fact is that this little girl is okay. Lord knows what may have happened over the last, 48 hours, the last, day or so since she went missing. But she's alive, and she's going to be reunited with her family. And that's an outcome that I can't stress this hard enough. This is an outcome that we do not see often. And the fact that we got this outcome, it's a reason to celebrate. It's definitely for me, and I know for other people who cover these types of stories, and you put your emotions in these stories and in ways you connect with these stories. Even the viewers, you all, we're so used to seeing bad things happen. We're so used to seeing the worst case scenarios play out. So when we have a situation like this, it's just a feel-good moment. But I'm going to roll this clip really quickly, and then I'll be right back with more thoughts.
It sure is, Rachel. It's 6:52. It's not often that we break into NBC Nightly News to bring you information, but here we go. Charlotte Sena, according to law enforcement sources, has been found alive. At the end of our 6 o'clock newscast, at about 6:30, we showed you some pictures of police gathering at SPAC. 2 helicopters, police in camo, long guns, telling us that perhaps they were zeroing in on something. We've now learned they have in fact zeroed in on something. We don't know if there's been an arrest made, but we do know, we have it confirmed, that Charlotte Sena, the 9-year-old girl who disappeared from Moreau Lake State Park at about 6:15 on Saturday night, has been found. She is alive. That's what we know at this point. There are still developments to be found out here. We still have very many questions, but the headline is that Charlotte Sena has been found alive. Rachel.
I'm sure that over the next few hours, over the next couple of days, we're going to get a lot more information about whatever took place here. And we'll get more info about who this suspect is. But for right now, I think all of us, we can sleep a little bit better tonight. We we owe ourselves just a big sigh of relief. You know what I mean? A big sigh of relief. And I can't imagine how happy her family must be right now that she's okay. Mind you, we don't know what happened while she was gone, but she's alive. And that's just an outcome that, like I said, we do not see often. But I think it's time that we start opening up the conversation about what's really going on here. Because we can't keep meeting up like this. It's like every couple of days there's a new sad story. And we all come together and we all get sad together. We all get a little depressed together. We talk about how sad the situation is because another kid got kidnapped. Another person went missing. Another predator took advantage of some little child. Another woman or man got killed by some sicko. And we come together and we talk about it and we make our videos. Some people relive their own victimhoods through the eyes of a new victim, and people come together for whatever reason and we talk about these stories and we try to raise awareness about kids when they go missing, but we never really have the conversation about what's causing this. We never have the conversation about what can prevent this. And when I say we, I don't necessarily mean myself, because I'm not someone that shies away from these discussions, and I'm not someone that shies away from sensitive topics and sensitive conversations. But when I look around, it seems as if the majority of other people are. And in the true crime community, I feel like people who want to advocate for victims or want to be advocates for victims, I feel like they should be using their platforms and voices to speak out more to prevent this. Because our culture and our society, we've reached a point where we are enabling predators. We're soft on crime. I mean, don't get me wrong, you could not pay your taxes or something like that, and they'll lock you up for years. But if you do something horrible to a child, you're out the next day. We're letting these predators back out on the streets. We're knowingly sending our kids to be taught by predators in the school. We're letting predators have story time hours with kindergartners. We're allowing predators to pump their agenda and their propaganda into every cartoon, every movie, everything that comes out. We live in a society that's enabling all of this stuff. And then people wonder, well, why are there so many kids missing? Why are these predators, why have they gotten so bold that they'll just snatch some kid up broad daylight, in a public park where there's people and she's right down the road from her mom and dad? I think that it's time that we stop coming together with these sob stories once something happens to someone. And I think it's time that we start having these discussions. People need to stop shying away from this, because when you shy away from it, you're basically enabling it. It shouldn't be controversial to call out chomos and people who do horrible things to kids or people who prey on kids. But nowadays, if you point that out, you're the bad person. So I look around and we got all of these people who are dying to speak up once the kid goes missing, but none of them want to have the conversation about why is there such a rise in kids going missing? Why is there a rise in violent crimes against women and children and men? No one wants to have that convo, though. They're scared to acknowledge that nowadays we enable predators. They're scared to acknowledge that there's a mental health crisis in this country. Those are the two conversations we need to be having. So we can have less conversations about missing kids. Because I'd rather talk about other things. I don't want to keep meeting up like this every couple of days. You know what I mean? Every couple of days, oh, let's talk about how this psycho killed this person. Every couple of days, let's talk about how this kid went missing. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with talking about these cases, but where's the conversations about preventing this? Where's the conversations about, I don't know, taking some healthy steps as a society, as a community in a different direction, because the direction we're going in is obviously not working. And you can think it is in your fairy tale little mind, but these kids that are getting kidnapped and trafficked and Lord knows what done to them every day, and these women who are getting beat up on the side of the road, these people, they're not living in your fairy tale world where everything's perfect. So instead of being scared to have conversations, instead of being sensitive about having conversations because you're worried about offending someone, think about the horrible things that are done to people simply because people like us are scared to talk. Literally. And I'm sorry that maybe I'm coming across as frustrated, but I can't help it. Every single case, I watch people get riled up about these cases, and that's a good thing. But then it's on to the next person, on to the next person. Everyone knows that there's a huge problem. It's no secret. It's no secret what's being pushed on kids these days. Everyone knows it's an issue. No one wants to talk about it. We'll hop on and talk about a little girl once she goes missing and it's too late. But we're not going to talk about the people who are doing this. We're not going to talk about preventing this from happening. That's my point. And I can literally talk about it all day. I'll rant about it on the next missing persons case. I'm just glad that in this situation, this little girl was found. The next one might not be so lucky. So I hope that somehow, some way, people gain the courage to actually have an opinion and to stand on that opinion and to stand against all of this wicked stuff that's going on in our world. Because if you truly want to be a voice for victims, you need to be speaking up. And if you're not, then I don't know what to say. I just think that maybe I'll just keep that to myself. Let me know your thoughts, though, down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all soon in the next video.